Hi there! Well, I saw this challenge on the CodeFights YouTube channel and I really wanted to try it out myself, so I did a screen recording of me coding it, attempting to do it in 30 minutes, which was quite the challenge. Keep in mind that I did treat it more as a speed challenge more than anything else, so I know that I could have coded it a little bit better if I had more time to think about names and make variables and stuff. But yeah, this was mostly for fun, so enjoy, I guess.
Okay, let's be honest, I wasn't going to do a voiceover, but I asked my friend to watch this and she said she wanted to know what I was doing while I was coding this. So I start off coding up the HTML markup and naming all the elements as quickly as I can. I would often put aside some time to think more about the structure, but we don't have a lot of time here. Only 30 minutes to do everything. As I said, I was treating this more like a speed exercise. I usually like using BEM to organize my class names. So you have the parent class timeline row, and then all the children within timeline row would be separated by 2 underscores. It just gives a clear indication of the relationship between the elements. Okay, so here we start with the CSS. I begin with the container and I usually work from the top to the bottom from there. Or you know, whatever I feel like doing that day. Here I'm creating the menu button. I'm going to create 3 lines. So I'll create 2 lines with the before and after pseudo elements, basically creating 2 thin rectangles. And to create the third one, I'm going to take one of those pseudo elements and use this neat trick to make a copy. It's with box shadow. So basically it's a shadow, but you don't use the blur and size values, so it's basically a clone. Now we're up to the header. It has a fixed height and a text section in the center. So within that text section, I would divide it into more sections so we can more easily achieve this layout that appears on the right hand side here. Okay, it doesn't look that pretty at the moment, but we're about to fix that. There we go. A little bit nicer. But I think a font would help it look a bit better. So here we bring up Roboto, one of my favorite fonts to use online. And just adding the font makes it a little bit more fun to work with. Look, it's looking a bit nicer here. So I basically got the structure done for the date in the header. So we just have to fine tune this a little bit, adding font sizes, colors, spacing between elements, so it matches the layout a little bit better. Just starting to build basic sections of the main part. I have since updated my settings so it would auto-save. Don't you worry. So now I started working on the avatar. The avatar appears in several sections throughout this layout. So first in the top right, and then in the timeline row in the main section. They're basically the same element, so we use the same class for it. But since they appear in different sections, you can use a more specific class to style it in each place. I would usually put the background image for the avatar inline because it's usually something that's added dynamically by the back-end developer. Here I am building, well, just writing up the classes for the timeline row, so it's easier to work with. The timeline row is starting to come together. I'm so glad CodePen gives you those errors, so you know exactly where you made the little mistake and fix it ASAP. The status has different colors depending on what it is. So if it's overdue, snoozed, or complete, they each have different colors. So I used a BIM modifier to signify this. And the status appears like in the center of that line. So I tried to match it as close as possible. The basic layout is pretty much done for the timeline row. I just had to fine tune it a little bit by adjusting font sizes, colors, spacing, and to fill in that avatar section. It's already been done because of what I just did before, but we'll just put in the images in there. There we go. Yeah, when building the timeline row, I kind of referred to the row on the layout that had the most stuff in it. And you kind of have to make sure that even if you remove elements from the description part, it would still look alright. For the timeline row attendees, I also added a different class so that if this avatar row section is used somewhere else, you don't have to repeat any code. We're almost there, only 2 minutes left. Okay, at this point I was like, okay, I need to fucking make this add button and position it in the right place. At one point I think I lose it and I just don't know where I put it. Yeah, it's lost, but I find it eventually. Before time's up anyway. There we go. So I got most of it done in time. Yay!
Okay, now we finished the challenge. I think I'll make small tweaks to finish it off. I don't think I did too bad with the class naming, but I could have done better if I had more time to think about it. I was kind of like in a rush, and also like I don't think I did too bad in a rush. Yeah, there's just things that I would usually take longer doing. Like I left this button to last because I know I would take ages making this plus sign. So I think a good takeaway of this was to focus on the like larger easy parts, and if I had to be more detailed about some code, then I'll leave that to later after the main layout is done. So it looks kind of finished. Yeah. So I think the things that I need to do, did I get rid of that margin top? I think it's a margin top. Oh, I got rid of it in Inspector, but not in here. So those last things I needed to do were to adjust the font size of the timeline text, add the plus symbol to this button here, add a background image to this section here, and I think that's done. Or maybe, oh yeah, the timeline and the menu button have a slightly lighter color too, so I'll have to change that. Yeah, but I'm pretty much done actually. Let's just change those little things. So let's tackle the simplest stuff first. The timeline color is mauve. Well, that looks a bit dark. Let's get the lightest color here. So this lavender color. Let's chuck it here. Usually I would also create variables of everything as well, but since this was a speed test, I left it out. It does take a little bit longer to create variables for each color, but in the long run, if there were more pages, more screens, then it would save a lot of time for the future. Invest time now and then save time later. Future self would love me. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know commentary. Okay. What was I up to? See, I distract myself by chatting. I mean, we could convert the variables to, convert the hex codes to variables. That could be a last thing because it's not super crucial right now. I guess these fonts are a little bit bold, so we can add maybe a medium. Yeah, we could add a bold or something. Replace that here. And for time and title, we can make text bold. Oh, maybe that's a bit too bold. We could do 500. Yep, we could, yeah, that looks good. That could be a little bit bigger. Maybe 11. And increase the time as well. Oh, that padding could be smaller. Or margin. Just a description one. Okay, and now we have the background, so unsplash. Just pick a random background image. I think I'll choose 1018. 1018. So we'll put in the header background 10. Background size is cover. Background position is center, X and Y. There, and we also want kind of like a tinge on top, so I would do an after pseudo element. Give it a background. I guess it's like a purpley color, so grab this. With CSS, you can just put the hex code there and then set your opacity. Let's position this absolute. Make it width 100, height 100. Guess you would call this an absolute fill. that text is behind everything, so we'll just bring it up with a Z index. Please work. Position. Z index will only work with position. There we go. I think that is a bit too light, so darken it a bit. This purple could be a little bit darker, so we could look up a hex tool. Oh, oops, hex tool. Okay, hex color tool. Yeah. Paste that sucker in and darken this. Yeah, let's do this one. Doesn't have to be super accurate because we didn't get like a working file for this. Yep, I think we got it. And for the add button, we can create a cross. I have no idea how I'm going to do this. Please don't judge me too hard. Let's say 18. Height, let's say 1. Display of inline block. Background color looks like white, so make it white. Oh wait, this already got absolute, so we don't need that. Does need to be absolute though. Yeah, I don't know why. Oh yeah, I get it. Duh. I don't know why it took me so long to get that, but yeah, you learn something every day. Cool. I think we are done. So we have the header. We have an avatar with a little status icon. We have a header, timeline, and okay, good, that top didn't belong there. Yay, we are done! I think one thing I would improve is like how this nav works, because at the moment I just space between it, and I don't think the menu button and the avatar are the same width. So oh, maybe I could just fix it. So the avatar is 24 and the menu button is 16. So we can add 8 and it'll be even, I guess. If you have more items on one side, then you probably have to figure out a different way of doing that. But that is a challenge for another day, and it's not too difficult either. And also, yes, I did forget about this title resizing, so let's do that too. I guess 16 would be a good size for that. I think I celebrated too soon. 16, it's okay. We are good. Come on, load the thing. It was already 16. Maybe we could do 14 then. Yeah, that is better. Yay! Okay, I will stop coding now. I think this is fine. Okay, thank you for watching me do this challenge, and maybe you can do it too. I'll just link the original video in the comments below. If you want to see more, then you can subscribe and like. Oh my gosh, I sound like a YouTuber.